This is David Van Biema for Time.com. I recently interviewed Thich Nhat Hahn, the world-renowned Zen monk who helped lead protests in the 1960s during the war in his native Vietnam. During his visit to the Asia Society in New York City, we spoke about Buddhism, politics, and the militant monks of Burma.
All of us are supposed to take action, but the way we take action may differ in different situations. But if an action, a speech is motivated by compassion and understanding, that is good enough to be called a Buddhist action.
Next to the Dalai Lama, you are by far the best known Buddhist practitioner, and we're catching you just as the conflict in Burma has once again pulled the question of engaged Buddhism to the fore. You have had many varied experiences along the same road, from the beginning in Vietnam, when you came out in opposition to war, to either side's position, and eventually had to leave because of that. Your experience in the United States, where you became involved in the anti-Vietnam War movement, but also came to know Martin Luther King and were able to influence him toward taking his stance against the Vietnam War.
You know that the end of the Vietnam War was the effect of a total, a global, a collective awakening in America. If you do not change the thinking of the people, you cannot change the situation.
Do you have any philosophical connection to the protesting Burmese monks?
We have our awareness, and we have ways to send our energy to our brothers and sisters in Burma. Our monastic brothers and sisters have offered their spiritual leadership. That is already a success, because even if the monks are imprisoned or have died, they have already offered their leadership.
I should add that the leading spokesperson for the Burmese monks who have been protesting recently called to the Asia Society by satellite phone to say that they are aware of the actions of the international community.
His nom de guerre is Ugambira.
But that he feels that this is not enough to stop the violence.
The action of our monastic brothers in Burma has shown that they are aware of what is going on in their country, and they have enough compassion in order to take action. And up to the people in Burma, in the world, to continue.
The most powerful statement by the monks was the turning over of their begging bowls, denying the regime credit for donating alms. That was apparently a very powerful symbolic gesture.
Well, there are non-violent ways, compassionate ways to express oneself, and not to accept arms from those who are oppressing people is a real message. That is also the act of non-cooperation.
In the United States, many people have been exposed to a Buddhism that seems far more concerned with meditation and mindfulness than it necessarily is with world events. Is that kind of Buddhist activism, which seems political, much more common among Buddhists outside of the United States?
In America also, if you practice meditation, you should be aware of what is going on inside of you, the suffering inside and the suffering outside. And when you are in touch with the suffering, your understanding and compassion arise. And with that, you will take action.
Do you have a position on our involvement in Iraq?
It seems to me that the war has not helped reduce terrorism. It has created more anger and violence. It has created more terrorists. So it's time to look deeply in order to find ways in order to stop the war. Dialogue, listen deeply with compassion. The monks in Burma have offered a spiritual leadership, and I have not seen that in this country our spiritual leaders have offered their leadership in a very clear way. Because the country, the nation needs a clear voice on Iraq, on the war. And we have been expecting to hear that voice from the spiritual leadership in America. the awakening the insight offered by the monk should go into the mind of everyone, because only a collective awakening can produce a change. Bud means to wake up, and Buddha means the one who is awake. And if we can help everyone on earth to wake up, we have a chance. Thank you.